Everything lucrative, lucrative Lord. Yes, sir.
Welcome to Lucrative Literature. I am the Lucrative Lord. I'm so excited to finally get this platform up off the ground. Today is the first episode. Just a little background on Lucrative Literature. On this platform, we'll be exploring a variety of books. On each episode, there'll just be one book presented within that episode. We'll talk about the impacts that the book has had on me as the Lucrative Lord, but I want this to be conversational, so be sure to express the way you feel in the comments about the book. Share your different thoughts. Whether you like the book or if you didn't like the book or not, be sure to share how you felt about it, even if you didn't think it was that great. So we just want to have dialogue about the different book that's presented in that episode. And be sure to share other books that you might recommend, that you might want to see on Lucrative Literature. I love reading great literature, so I can possibly dive into those books. So I want to learn from you, and you might learn something from each episode on Lucrative Literature. So it's been a long time coming as far as getting it started. So I'm just so excited that we're getting it off the ground, and I just am happy to see where we may go with Lucrative Literature. So y'all be sure to tap in, like, subscribe, share, comment, all of those great things. So on the first episode today, we're going to be talking about a very special book. I think this is a great time to actually talk about this book because it's the beginning of the year. So the first book that I will be presenting on Lucrative Literature is The 4 Agreements by Don Ruiz Miguel. I'm gonna grab it off the bookshelf right here. If I can find it, it's right here up at the top. I wanna make sure I got the name correct. It's actually Don Miguel Ruiz. I have the physical copy, and just as a heads up to you, we'll also explore audible books, audio books that you might listen to on Audible, Amazon, whatever the case may be. But I actually have the physical book of The 4 Agreements. And I just think it's important that we talk about this book at the beginning of the year, because when I think about The 4 Agreements, this book actually helped me to declutter my life. As you can see, it just says 4 agreements. So this is actually just some principles that you can live by to simplify your life. So some of my biggest takeaways, or the biggest takeaway from this book, is just to actually try my best every day. So trying our best looks different on each person. Sometimes you might just have a battery that's on 25% and you can only give that 25% that day, but it was your absolute best. Whether that be in your marriage, or it might be in a relationship with your kids, or it just might be on your job, because we have so many different things that impact us. So trying your best looks different on you each day. But most importantly for me, I know I just want to try my best, no matter what that may look like. And another thing that really stood out to me in the book is making assumptions. Making assumptions can be so tough, because we as humans, we're just engineered and wired to make up these stories in our minds, as opposed to just asking clarifying questions. So sometimes when we make assumptions, we can actually count ourselves out. I could have just simply assumed that Lucrative Literature would be a platform that wouldn't be successful, and I wouldn't be here right now doing Lucrative Literature. So that's another thing that really helped me out in my life, as far as not making any assumptions about anything, and just having the ability to ask those clarifying questions. I feel like it's helped in my marriage. It's helped in me going to work. Even when I'm confused about something, I might be on a conference call and I don't really understand what somebody is talking about. And instead of me making an assumption that it'll be dumb or it'll be stupid for me to ask the question, I'll just go ahead and ask the question, because I don't want to make any assumption or count myself out. So those are like two of the biggest things that really stood out to me in the book, and also just choosing my words as far as the way I speak to people and just displaying that kindness and compassion. So that's why we have the 4 agreements on lucrative literature today. This is a great book. It's a short read. It really doesn't take long to read this book. Not saying that you need to rush through the book. I actually was on PTO when I first read this book. I read through it that whole day. I don't think it took me too long to read through it. It was just a book that when I started reading it, I just couldn't stop because it just had me smiling the entire time, because I felt like I had cluttered my life up with so many different things that didn't even matter. But once I read this book right here, my life just felt so simple and I felt like I was at peace. So anybody, I would say, like, if you're dealing with stress or anxiety, or I think fear is another big one. I'll say fear. If you have fear of whatever the case may be, if it's just something that you're actually dealing with, I say read the 4 agreements. Simplify your life, find peace in your life, get away from anxiety, get away from stress, get away from all those different things that actually impact you. So this is the first book that we're doing, the 4 agreements. Don Miguel Ruiz. Hopefully we'll get to a day where we can actually maybe have a great author like Don Miguel Ruiz come on the show. So Don Miguel Ruiz, if you're looking, I'm gonna drop my email out here and all my different socials. Let's get together. Send me emails. Email me some of your favorite books. Email me some of your favorite quotes, whatever the case may be. You can reach me at lucrative.cap@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram as well. Just look me up, lucrative.cap. We'll drop that somewhere in the video where you can actually see it spelled out. Check me out on Facebook. My name is Sherrick Capers on Facebook. I think that's all of the different socials that I have right now. But yeah, I'm happy to get started with this lucrative literature. Let's keep the conversation going, and I'll sign off by saying, don't ride on the train, engineer the train. Y'all have a good one. Y'all take care. Peace and love.
Everything lucrative, lucrative Lord, yes sir. Gas, raw, kangaroo kush, building and growing, I'm writing a book. Lucrative with the literature, 10 toes, think tennis shoes.